What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Around the Metaverse, our weekly show where we bring together some of the best content creators from the blockchain and NFT gaming community, talk about all the recent news, and give you guys everything you need to know to stay up to date. My name's Adam, and I'll be your host today. But more importantly, we got our group of guests here on this wonderful Monday right after Halloween. We got CryptoStache in the house. I don't know if the viewers out there got to see, but this man has the most epic Halloween setup in his house.
I do. It's awesome.
And he spent the last month literally building it, and he had an epic time last night.
I did.
So jealous.
We got Zueljin in the house. How you doing, man? You have a good weekend?
Good, man. I live in a ghetto, so I hid for Halloween.
You hid?
I just hid. I turned the lights off and acted like nobody was home. Watch TV with the lights dim.
You old man. He's good on. You grumpy old man.
Grandpa in the hood,
Worried they're gonna be breaking down his door. We got Jake in the house, man. How you doing? I know your Tesla bags are doing quite well today.
The Tesla bags are stacking, bro. Tesla's up like 30% the last 2 weeks in a row or something. It's like almost 50% in this month. So
that's like
crazy.
crypto gains right there.
Tesla is like crypto gains. But it's like
wait.
actually real based off of real world value. No, I'm not just kidding.
Whoa. Hey, what are you doing on this show, man? Why are you gonna be talking like that?
He's just here to pump his Tesla bags. That's all he's ever been doing.
All right. Here, I think like a lot of crypto is based on a lot of promises. That's why I like investing in gaming NFTs and gaming crypto, because I think it's based on real value, which is not the same as all cryptocurrency, which is some of it's just memes, some of it's shit coins, some of it like is going to have long-term value, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, some of these things, but like a lot of crypto, I don't know.
I think we can all confidently say that like 90% of crypto out there is not going to make it necessarily. Yeah. But you got to be in that 10% that is going to make it, and that's what we're here to tell you about. So, and not last but not least, we have a new face to the Around the Metaverse show. We got Sam from NFT Gamer TV, crypto enthusiast who covers all kinds of blockchain games and NFTs. What's up, Sam? Thank you for joining us today. And how you doing?
Glad to be here. Yeah, I'm doing well. I gotta be honest, I kind of slept through Halloween, tried to catch up on all this stuff.
Hey man, I didn't do anything fun either. I was looking at the charts. We had all the Metaverse tokens running up like yesterday, it seemed like, or a day ago. So my attention was on that. But we got a great show for you guys today. We're going to be talking about Splinterlands and Axie Infinity making some changes to their play to earn mechanics so that bots can't necessarily get in on the action. And just the general problem with bots that we're kind of seeing amongst a lot of blockchain games. We're going to be talking about the Facebook Metaverse rebrand, which I think sent a lot of our bags sky high over the weekend. And then finally, just a little piece about kind of mass adoption and how we're seeing it coming to fruition here with blockchain and NFT games. But before we jump into all that, you guys watching out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. And after this, make sure to check out all of these guys' descriptions in the channels or their channels in the description below. They provide some great content for us all, and you'll come to see that we've got some great insights on all this stuff we're about to jump into. So first off, let's get into the Splinterlands topic. Recently, Splinterlands and Axie Infinity made some changes to their play to earn mechanics, where in Axie you need to have a certain MMR, otherwise you can't earn SLP anymore. And then in Splinterlands, you need to be able to make it to a certain league and ranked to be able to earn DEC. And this was done in an effort to combat botting, which has kind of been a mass problem amongst many NFT games. I'm curious, Stache, do you think that these changes are going to actually help with bots, or do you think that like the bots are just going to find new ways to kind of come into the game and make a living for their owners?
I mean, the botting problem is a tough problem, man. I mean, it's not just a crypto problem too. We're all gamers here. All of us have played traditional games, and botting is a problem in all gaming. It is a problem that the entire gaming industry has tried to find ways to combat, but it's not easy because gamers are clever ass people. We're clever people, man. We're out there, we'll find any kind of crazy way to bot the system. I've been playing some New World here, and and I've talked about it a couple times on the stream. That's what I've been playing most recently. And there's botters all over the damn place, man. And you can tell by chat, because sometimes their bot sequences and stuff will end up in chat. So it's a tough thing to combat. But in particular for crypto, it becomes even more vital to do so because there's money at stake, right? In a traditional game where there's no real, like, what are they getting out of it? I don't know. They're just getting a higher level character. They can sell more in-game stuff, but they're not really getting any real world value out of it. But with these blockchain games, it becomes a much larger issue. We've already seen games like Alien Worlds were just kind of destroyed by botting. And it became a huge problem, and something where it's like, okay, well, you're sucking away the profits from real people actually playing, real players, people who are not just setting up a script and finding a way to skirt the system. And so you may be affecting someone else's livelihood, in particular with like Axie Infinity, and now Splinterlands as it's becoming more popular and more profitable. These are people who are playing these games and actually earning their income from these games. So when you have botters out there taking away some of that piece of income or reducing the amount that somebody's getting because they own 100 botting accounts, right? It becomes an issue. Do I think these changes are going to help? I don't know, man. The Axie changes and the Splinter, the Axie changes, I think, have a bigger impact because the MMR is based upon is a skill-based thing. With Splinterlands being in a little bit of a higher league, you don't necessarily have to have a ton of skill to get to that level, because it's not based upon an MMR ranking. I mean, it is, but it's a lot easier, I feel, to get to that level in Splinterlands. But I think both of them are not going to like solve the problem.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll be honest, man. I maybe I don't have a lot of skill. That might be the issue. But I actually have trouble recently getting to bronze 2, just because my Splinterlands collection isn't that like much, right? So I have the base cards, and I found that I can't earn DEC anymore. And I'm wondering, like, is it even worthwhile for them to put these changes in place? Like, Zueljin, I'm wondering, man. Let me ask you, like, do you think that it'd be better off for them to just leave the bots? You know what I mean? If it's gonna prevent actual players who maybe don't have high skills, right, from earning, do you think that that's an issue there?
It's such a slippery slope, man, because if they limit anything that is going to hard limit bots, you're going to end up limiting some players that are just overachievers too. And the problem with the botting thing is it kind of takes the casual aspect away from it. Like, as a casual gamer, you can't compete with any of these bots. You can't compete with hardcore gamers either, but hardcore gamers are much further and fewer between, especially people that are really, really competitive. Plus, in play to earn, competitive gamers have been earning money from games for a long time, even in the conventional gaming space. Like, you're not hurting botters, in my opinion. They're just going to find another game to bot. It's going to be another script that they run on another application or another D app. I don't think it's really, really hard. I don't have the answers either. Like, I don't have any suggestions to put in the ballot box, man. I have no idea how to compete with this stuff. In Ultima Online, I played years ago, and there was a problem with that too. People just using scripts to be able to macro. Well, I did the same thing. I used a lot of it because the gameplay wasn't engaging enough for you to organically move to those levels of skill. If you had to chop 1,000 trees and they wanted to stop bots, they would make it just to be 1,000,000 trees to get max level. And that just took it out of, it just made it a chore. Nobody wanted to do it anymore. So nobody just practiced that skill. If something wasn't easily macroed or achievable through regular organic gameplay, those skills just got neglected. And then they would have balance changes that they would do. And the meta just kept evolving like that. But it ultimately really, really messed up the system. Plus, it was a subscription model. So people were literally feeling like they were being just like, here, pay us more money to get to the same results, over and over. So I don't know what the answer is, but it's a huge problem.
Yeah. The bottom line is that in play to earn games, because there are more incentives for farming the game, botting is going to be a bigger problem for blockchain games than it was even for traditional games. And it is very important that we actually find a real solution to this. The issue is all of these solutions that have been implemented so far by Axie and Splinterlands and higher MMR requirements is not actually going to solve the problem long term, because as we talked about, I think even last week, with artificial intelligence and stuff, like there's already been bots made that are better than professional level at some of the most competitive games. And like when I interviewed Jiho and he's like, yeah, the botters, they're not using AI. They're not doing any of this stuff. They're not actually skilled. I think he's underestimating what people are actually capable of. Like you go on YouTube, you can watch like just random people training AI race cars to like race better on this racetrack. It's like if there's just random people on YouTube that are using casual AI to train their bots, you don't think people are doing it for Axie Infinity where they can earn real money if they actually train a bot in order to compete above a certain level? Yeah. What actually needs to happen in order to stop people from running hundreds of bot accounts or thousands of bot accounts is there has to be somewhat kind of know your user functionality where there is some kind of ID or something that you only have one of that you can only operate one account with, so that even if someone does bot, they can only do it once. And in order to set up another account, they would need to get another person's ID to prove another real human person is behind the account. I think that's the only way you really stop botters. And it doesn't stop it completely. It just stops one person from being able to do it on more than one account.
Yeah.
Doesn't Korea have something like that for MMORPGs right now? I seem to remember having to buy accounts that were connected to email addresses for early access titles like Bless Online prior, because there was something that only Korean residents needed. It was beyond VPN and all this stuff. Like it's kind of like you were saying, Jake, is based on like an address or an identity that you had to turn in. It wasn't something sacred like a social security number, but it was some sort of identification that they had to provide in order to say, yes, I'm from this region. Yes, I'm allowed to play this game.
Well, I think you bring up a good point too, Zueljin, in your last comment too, where you were talking about how like the botting sometimes comes into play too when the activity isn't necessarily engaging enough for the player to want to do themselves. And I think that is exacerbated in blockchain gaming right now too, because like, let's be honest, there aren't that many super fun games that you like, you know, many of the games in blockchain gaming today incentive like are people want to play for the incentive, right? Sure. And until we get to a point where people want to play for the entertainment as opposed to the incentive, then I think we're going to continue to see that bot problem. But Jake, I'm curious too. I want to ask Sam something on what you had to say, because I'm curious, man. You're talking about KYC sort of for video games, and there's some controversial opinions with KYC in the financial space and how it kind of gatekeeps certain people from certain services and things like that. Sam, I'm curious your opinion on what Jake had to say. Do you think like that's a good road to go down in terms of forcing people to kind of give identification to be able to play these games?
I think some sort of like unique verification would work. I feel like an ID, like it's tough because even as Zueljin was saying, like buying off of somebody else that used their legitimate ID. I mean, if they did that for something like Axie, I'd imagine eBay would start flooding with Axie accounts for botters to buy.
That's true.
Like what's unique enough and what's going to stop people from being able to just pass it to somebody else and get paid for it. I'm trying to like rack my brain for like what would even work, and it's
solution.
It's like maybe somebody's face, but even then,
facial recognition.
I mean, they got deep fake now too, though. Like next thing you know, you'll be PvPing against Tom Cruise.
Yeah. I mean, what if they did like a fingerprint? Like, is that even possible? Or do you just like make too much of the world's population like unable to contribute at all?
Fake fingerprints?
Yeah, fingerprints aren't not 100% of people are fingerprinted or in the database of fingerprints, and couldn't that be algorithmically generated based on a database?
Probably, yeah. I'm sure there's like ways around everything, and like that's the issue. It's
that's
like...
right, and that's what the kind of the hard road we have here is that so many games have tried to find solutions for this botting problem, and everything we come up with, there's some sort of then they could do this, and all of us are sitting here. We're all very experienced gamers across many different types of games and time and space. and we're kind of at a deadlock ourselves. Usually we generate some awesome ideas in this show of like how to fix things, how to make things work better, but this is one of those problems that is going to be a real big thorn in our side here when it comes to earning in crypto games. But
this is above our pay grade, bro.
It's not. I mean, I don't even know if it's above our pay grade. It's just a hard problem for even I think the most intelligent people to solve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I asked Michael McCarthy about this this past week, who is the lead developer of Mirandus and co-founder of Gala Games, and I was like, are you guys like super worried about botting and this potential issue in Mirandus? And I was actually kind of shocked by how nonchalant he was about it. He like didn't seem that worried about it. And he's like, I don't know, it would be really hard to set up a lot of accounts because you need to hook up each one with a wallet. And it's like, I was like, but yeah, people are going to be able to do that pretty easily. And he's also like, we have our like traditional like ways to catch bots. And I'm sure that there are like some pretty good ways to catch bot accounts, but you can't catch all of them. And I don't know, he just didn't seem worried about it. I was kind of surprised. Like, could we be overreacting about this? But then Axie and Splinterlands are having massive problems with it. So we're not overreacting. Like, I'm kind of worried that he wasn't more worried.
So what if we turn this on its head, and what if developers would promote botting? What if they implemented scripting tools and automation within the games and made room for that in the economy and allowed people to do it freely?
I mean, so the thing is, I think there's actually two divisions here. There's botting as a single person, and having an automated something where you're not there and it's going by itself. And there's people who have hundreds and hundreds of accounts that are sucking the system dry of resources or of money. And I think those are kind of two a little bit separate problems, right? I don't mind so much of someone, an individual having a macro or something like that they're using. I think, and what you said, is actually a smart idea, and it's something that the game Nine Lives Arena, they've actually incorporated into that game. If you guys don't know, they have a helper called an Oogie, and he can actually do things for you while you're offline. You don't even have to have the game running. You like set him up with stuff and like tasks, and then while you're gone, he'll collect resources for you or do whatever shit you tell him to do. And so it's kind of the same thing. It's like being able to bot. Like, I don't want to go running around and chopping a bunch of trees or gathering ore like he does it while you're gone. So I love that concept. And I think that's a great way to go. But then how do we stop them from, doing that 1,000 times and 1,000 accounts? And that's really the big problem.
I think Zueljin is a good point for that, though. Like, if you say like they're the people who go and like till the fields, like give them something in, say, Mirandus, for example, give the bots something that like is something where they could have 1,000 accounts doing it and it wouldn't ruin the economy. That way, like I don't know, some sort of distraction. I feel like because there's really no way to completely get rid of bots, but giving them something else to do, I feel like it's a good option.
Yeah.
I wonder to know. You'd have to set things that would be automated to something that you can have an unlimited quantity. If there's any finite resource whatsoever, even on a time distribution, it's the bots will kill it, man.
Yeah. So it's one of those problems, man.
They'll deforest the whole game and the wood market. It's crazy.
Just something we might have to live with, I guess. It looks like maybe. Who knows? We'll maybe get a solution in the future.
Maybe Mark Zuckerberg has the solution for us.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing is, if one company or one game does find an incredible solution, like everyone's going to copy it really quick. So like, if we actually do get a solution, which I think there has to be some smart ways to do this, it will spread quickly. But yeah, I mean, to Zueljin's point, Gala Games actually has allowed scripting in Townstar. They've like okayed it. So yeah, maybe that is the
Star Wars
solution.
Galaxies had it and I loved it. And it didn't, I mean, you could do some crazy stuff too, man. You can automate camping a spawn and killing things over and over again and leveling up your pets. It was crazy what you could do. You can bring it to the market and sell it too.
The real next step is going to be making the bots NFTs and then giving them different rarities and limits so that people don't even make their own bots. They just buy them on the secondary.
And a limited amount of accounts for a game that can only be identified through NFTs.
Yeah. Well, so we're working on a solution. We're working on it. Everyone out there, don't worry. We'll have something for you.
Let's shut it down. We got to go to work right now.
Get it.
Start generating the art.
we're going to shut it down and then jump into our next topic here, talking about the Facebook Metaverse rebrand. I know that was kind of probably the biggest news in everything kind of NFTs and maybe even crypto kind of in the past week or so. So for those of you who watching who may not know, I doubt there are many, Zuckerberg and his team of elites over at Facebook, his shadowy supercoders, as some people like to say, even though that's us, went out and kind of made an executive decision to rebrand the entirety of Facebook and tailor it towards the metaverse, and going with the name Meta, and even kind of with a new logo that almost looks like the Axie Infinity logo and the Oculus VR headset. And the new logo they came out with kind of has a lot of elements of different things that we sort of cherish in the metaverse. But I'm curious to hear your guys' opinions, man, because I know Facebook is a pretty controversial company in today's day and age, and I'm not totally sure that this is a good thing for the metaverse. So, Stache, let me ask you, man, do you think that this is a good thing or a bad thing after kind of seeing Mark Zuckerberg's vision of what the metaverse should be?
I think it's overall, I think it's good exposure for the future of where we're going with metaverses. I'm always skeptical about the big conglomerate coming in and trying to snap everything up and so they can continue to be relevant. And I think that's really what Facebook is doing here with this play. I think that, same thing they try to do with Instagram, and, I wouldn't say they missed the mark, but I mean, you look at like what TikTok has done in comparison, they've exploded with users and it being the most popular app on the planet. And Facebook wants that again. I feel like so they trying to attach themselves to anything here. And I think metaverses make a lot of sense. Now, it already kind of goes in line with where I think Zuckerberg was trying to take things, with buying an Oculus, understanding that VR and these metaverses were kind of the future, but not really having it together. VR is still, I feel, not as approachable as it should be. I love VR, but a lot of people don't. It makes people a lot sick. They can't handle having the glasses on. They're too heavy. It doesn't last long. The battery life is not as good, and all kinds of other things there. So I think that this is kind of a good intermediary step to getting there. But what it does do is it puts a spotlight onto existing metaverses and what we're doing in crypto and why they're actually cool, interesting, and important. And so I think that's the good side of it. The bad side of it, it's like I said, double-edged sword. The bad side is that, it may be this gigantic conglomeration trying to come in and crush all the really good independent developers who have kind of paved the way for the Zuck.
The big centralized institution is finally jumping into the pool, man. We don't know what's to come, but I'm curious, Sam. What's your opinion, man? Do you think that Meta is going to continue to do things that Facebook is kind of known for, like selling user data and kind of creating AI algorithms to polarize people, almost in a sense? When you get your information from the feed, do you think they're going to continue to do those things in the metaverse that they're building for people?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I would ever see them changing their minds on. Like it's such a huge market for them, just to sell user data, and it's very valuable. I think CryptoStache said it very well about like it being a double-edged sword. I think awesome the sort of publicity it created for crypto, but I mean, I would have no plans to play in their metaverse. I wouldn't feel safe.
I wouldn't feel safe.
It almost feels like instead of IOI trying to win the
yeah,
Oasis
that's exactly
in the competition,
what I'm talking about.
They decided to try and build it themselves. So if they successfully build it, then they don't have to win it in the competition later.
Yes.
And they can continue treating the user like the product instead of like the customer. That's the issue with Facebook, is that the user is the product and not the customer. So
yep.
I think unless that fundamentally changes, then Facebook is not the company that I want to run the metaverse. But that said, I think it's good for the future of NFTs. Like Zuckerberg did mention that the NFTs are going to be part of the metaverse. It's good for the future of virtual reality. Just that a company like Facebook that has billions of dollars to throw into development has committed to developing billions of dollars to just improving this technology and making it more easily accessible. So I think overall, like, it's going to be good for the industry But I definitely want to support alternatives. So.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Do you think that it's like like you said, he mentioned that NFTs are going to be a part of it. So I'm curious, like what blockchains he's considering integrating into this metaverse, or like, if it's going to be exclusive to one, or if it's going to be interoperable or something like that. I mean, who knows? Maybe are they working on their own? Aren't they working on their own blockchain right now?
They got it denied, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they start off with Libra, and then they kind of pivoted on that, and so I think this is kind of their way of like roundaboutly kind of getting back into things. Maybe
Well, if they are in that position, they're going to be poised to jump in if and when that blockchain gets much more regulated and accepted throughout all the countries. That like they're just going to be ready. Their integration is going to be ready to go. And if not, they're going to have a pilot software that they can license and distribute to blockchain developers in order to do it. I'm with you guys on the privacy issues and Zuckerberg in general. I don't like a lot of the company and what they do, but social media, I think, has a really, really big part in the metaverse and what it's trying to do. I think there's either going to be a social media giant, a gaming giant, or a blockchain giant that's going to be the big bulldozer to pave the way. It might as well be Facebook. They're all corporations are evil. This is Shadowrun. I don't know if you knew it, but it's, corporations and politics, big money. It's all the same, whether it's Walmart or Apple or Google. I really, really think that this is overall good. If I had to tip the scales in one way or the other, it's good. They're going to make a lot of the things that we talk about with the metaverse needs people to have those big barriers that are down now. No complicated wallet applications to get integrated into, no huge big barriers of security to worry about. A lot of that back end stuff is going to be handled by somebody that's very, very liable for stuff like that they may manipulate it, but at least they know how to control it, So I do think that it's more good than bad.
Honestly, I mean, I think I think a lot of people are in agreement with you too, Zueljin, just because, I mean, based on the market sentiment, like right after this announcement came out, things like, I mean, Decentraland did 400% or something like that in a day, or two days or something like that. And basically every other token that has even something to do with blockchain gaming or a metaverse basically went on a tear. And it looks like we're entering what might be one of the biggest crypto bull runs, or an individual crypto gaming bull run inside of kind of the market cycle we're already in. I hope to see prices continue to rise, and I think they will. And I really think that we're kind of on the cusp of mass adoption right now. I know another announcement that you guys might not have heard of or heard recently was the VP of EA Mobile, Chris Ackhaven, I believe. He actually left EA to go join the blockchain gaming platform Forte, which is like an up-and-coming blockchain gaming studio. And another statistic too just recently came out that
that's after, by the way, the head of EA Mobile left to join Gala Games. So
yeah.
they're leaving the mass exodus from traditional gaming studios to blockchain gaming studios has started officially.
I wonder if they had a board meeting where they were trying to push the agenda and it got shut down by the executives, and they were like,
that could be when you see multiple people leaving like that.
We're leaving.
Yeah, we just saw someone from Twitch left and someone from Riot Games left to join Illuvium's team as well. So
there's been a big exodus. I think a lot of people are seeing that future, and those visionaries are jumping on board early. And I think that we saw this, we've seen this in these shifts over time. When we start seeing that shift from kind of a pay to play to kind of a free to play model where this new generation of games starts to come up, and people see that they're the ones that jump on board with these up and coming visionary projects and studios.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're watching out there and you work at a traditional game studio and you want to kind of jump into the metaverse, go for it, man. Like you're not missing anything. There's a lot of money on this side of the pasture to be made. So come build the future if you're watching out there. And I really think that we're kind of on the precipice of like we're about to jump off the cliff into the next era of video games. I think another statistic recently came out that said over half of all unique active crypto wallets in Q3 interacted with a blockchain game of some sort, which I think is massive in terms of just looking at the numbers and kind of how gaming is kind of bringing in the adoption of crypto as a whole. Jake, I want to hear your opinion, man. How long do you think before we start to see legacy gaming studios actually integrating these kind of blockchain features? Like,
so I just recorded a video today, which won't come up, probably won't publish for like a week, but about how Ubisoft just announced that they're planning on developing play-to-earn blockchain and NFT games. So Ubisoft is a massive studio. So we're already starting to see this transition. It was in Ubisoft's last earnings call. The CEO said that they're making the transition. They're planning on developing their future games with blockchain integration. So Ubisoft has made incredible games. I mean, they're behind a lot of some of, I think, the biggest AAA games like Assassin's Creed. I'm sure you guys can name others that they've made. So imagine these games starting to get play to earn. I mean, it's quite insane that like Ubisoft makes this announcement right after Steam announces they're banning NFT games. Like, I cannot imagine that Steam keeps that decision for very long, because just imagine like all these all these just major AAA gaming studios are banned off of Steam now. It's like, Steam's like, where did all our games go?
Classic game theory, man.
It's very obvious though. I mean, Steam were the first and the only one to like draw a line in the sand. You know, now everybody else can take a position and just win favor. Like it's that easy. You know, Steam didn't get anything from the public by saying, no, we won't accept blockchain games, because non-blockchain gamers always had the choice to play blockchain games or not, you know. But now blockchain gamers don't have the choice of using Steam at all. So they just lost custom.
Yep.
Yeah, I think too, not to go back to Ubisoft, but I think that that announcement too is going to be big too, because I bet they're going to be the studio to like come out with an all-in-one solution. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna put in the new Assassin's Creed into your console, and like in that game, there's going to be a tab for the marketplace, the secondary marketplace, integrated into the game. It's going to be a nice package, all wrapped up nice and easy, so that
and if you can get your wallet link too straight from Xbox.
Yeah, that'll happen for sure. And
that's what I mean. Go ahead, Stache.
Yeah, Ubisoft, man, they have been in this game for a lot longer than people realize. Actually, you know, they were testing NFTs well before the NFT craze of this year. They were doing it in 2019, 2020. Taking some baby steps. You know, and I've been watching what they were doing very cautiously. And someone just also posted in the chat they're a founding member of the BGA, which I'm also a member of as well. It's the Blockchain Gaming Association. And so this is something they have not. It's not like it's just a recent thing, but they're slowly but surely building that up. And I think you guys are all right that they're going to be a leader when it comes to these things. You know, they've been working with all these same other. You know, like we're starting to see all these people kind of come together. So with something like the BGA, you know, you see like the Gala Games, the Animoca Brands, the Sandboxes, and all you know, everybody else is banding together to create this ecosystem in this community. And it's only getting stronger every day.
Yeah, I think Ubisoft in that earnings call announced that they invested in Animoca Brands as well.
They did. Yep. Yeah, big investment round for Animoca Brands of like a couple $1 billion. Like we talked about it last week on the NFT Beat. So there's a lot of trails there that lead back to some of these things. Not everybody sees it. Not everybody sees the little crumb trails they've been leaving, but I think we see it, and that's why I like to make sure that everyone, you guys out there, get to hear that and understand that big things are coming to our industry, and blockchain gaming is 100% going to be our future. Now we just got to find a way to smash on those bots and smash the likes too, guys. Don't forget to smash the likes, but we got to smash the bots too.
Yeah,
smash the bots and the likes. And just obliterate the like button, man. Smash the like button to get rid of the bots. Honestly,
there you go. If you hate bots, smash that like button, man. If you don't like bots, then I guess you could thumbs down or whatever. But whatever, just give us something.
Yeah. But Sam,
all the bots put their thumbs down. They're like, we're gonna get this stuff.
Sam, I want to hear from you, man. I'm curious. So, in your opinion, man, what would it take for you to say that blockchain gaming has achieved mass adoption in light of what we're talking about right now?
Probably like a mainstream console like the Xbox or the PlayStation coming out with some sort of wallet integration or at least NFT integration. Although I've been wondering if like which is going to happen first, a blockchain gaming studio decides to just screw it, make their own console. Like they don't necessarily need the ones that exist now, or if Xbox and PlayStation are going to get scared enough to where they'll integrate it themselves.
Yeah. I feel like if in the next round of the Xbox and the PlayStation, like the next version, if they still haven't started thinking about NFT integration yet, then that is what's going to open up the opportunity for some other company to release like a blockchain console.
I'm calling Atari right now.
Yeah, I was about to say Atari is
going to be the one to do it if they do.
They already did, man. Yeah. I mean, I have a VCS. They just launched. I mean, the VCS was their brand new console they came out with, and it was like launched with not much fanfare. I bought one because I'm just like I'm a supporter, man, and you know I want to see what this can do. And it's a hybrid console. It's like half computer, half traditional console. You can upgrade it like a computer, but plays like a console. And it is going to be blockchain enabled, and you'll be able to play the sandbox natively on there. That's why they have a collaboration. They've been working together fairly closely. So you know. They haven't done a good job of I feel like continuing that and really pushing it hard, because I think the timing was a little bit too soon. To really get it going, and because their main partner, the sandbox on this thing, they haven't launched their actual you know virtual world yet, but I do think they could be a contender.
Man, the sandbox, I have so much FOMO with all the like. There's so much gameplay content that you could watch, but like I can't get my hands on it yet. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to get in there, man.
Soon.
But yeah, TM. I don't. What about you, Jake? What like for you? When do we reach the point of mass adoption? It's here. Blockchain games.
I think when there's more people playing play to earn games than there are people playing traditional games. I'll say traditional gaming has finally started. It's dead. Mass adoption for play to earn games, and I feel like once we hit that point where like there's more people playing play to earn games than traditional games, like traditional games, they're gonna just, I mean, they're probably already gonna have been dwindling pretty fast by that point, but they're just gonna disappear so quick, and like there still will be a couple casual games that people play just for fun on their phone where it's just like, just for a couple of minutes, just I wanted to casually do this, nothing serious. But I think like 98% or more of all gaming will be on the blockchain. Because why would I decide to spend time playing a game that's going to give me no value, that I have no ownership in, when I could play a different game equally as fun that I am getting value out of? It's just a no-brainer. So everyone on an individual level is going to pick the play to earn game. And yeah, that's what I'll say. NFT gaming has won when there's more players playing it than traditional games.
What about you, Zueljin? When is the point in which you can say that we've reached mass adoption in blockchain games?
I think when people can use credit cards to just buy into game ecosystems, like immediately, like seamlessly, like through Google Play and stuff, or when in general wallets become a lot more common with people that aren't exposed to crypto right now. Just when my dad has a crypto wallet, for instance, it'll probably be synonymous with people playing play to earn games.
When my channel has 1 million subscribers, that's when it made it to the mainstream. Play to earn games.
When we all got 1 million subscribers, that's when we know. That's actually what I was gonna say. Is that I feel like one of the big milestones will be when we see mainstream well-known gamers pick up these games. That's when because that's what really is going to make something explode. You look at how well does a game do when it launches, a big game, whether it's a shooter like FPS or whether it's an RPG or whatever it may be. Having the support of these large scale gamers with millions of followers combined, that can make or break a game. And so seeing that a play to earn game being at that level where we have a ton of mainstream gamers playing it, I think that'll also be another really good signal.
Yep, for sure.
I mean, yeah, who knows? I really think that this is kind of the beginning of probably the best time that we're all going to have for the foreseeable future. You know what I mean? Like it's only up from here, I feel like. And maybe, we'll see. There might be a few ups and downs, but if you're here watching now, I can assure you, if you're here watching now, you're still early, and there's still plenty of time for you to get positioned well enough to ride this rocket to space, man, and
going to Mars. We're going right past the moon. We're going to Mars. Damn it, we're taking all the gamers with us.
We I mean, I think every one of us will be able to make a living in digital metaverses without, you know, having to rely on kind of income outside of the metaverse if we choose to, right? At least in the next year or two. And I can't wait to see that, man. I'm super excited for all that, and I think we're running out of time here. I want to thank you guys again for being here for Around the Metaverse, man. It was an exciting week for all of us, and I think it's going to continue to be exciting. So thank you guys for being here. You guys watching out there, smash the likes, and don't forget to check out all of these guys' channels in the description below. Thank you, NFT Gamer TV. Sam, thank you for being here, man, and we hope to have you back on the show. And yeah, hope to see you guys next week in the Metaverse. This has been Around the Metaverse. Catch us again next week.
Later, guys.
See you guys.